Hello people, I'm back with a recording today. This is the first time I've made or completed a recording in 6 days. I've been experiencing maybe some issues before my last court recording 6 days ago. Various court recordings before that, I was certainly having problems in terms of what I wanted to say or how I was feeling. And I got the impression that the universe was trying to tell me to change my direction. And if I'm being honest, for a while I had thought that I'd lost my purpose. I was feeling that I wasn't on top of things. I was feeling that I was going in the opposite direction to what I should have been going in terms of my purpose. And what I was feeling on top of that, I was feeling really quite anxious. I was getting slight headaches, and this has happened to me before actually. And once I sort of started to align again with the process, my anxiety left, and my headaches went also. And this is what's been happening to me over the last few weeks. Because I'd lost my direction, I was feeling anxious. I didn't want to do any recording, and certainly I wasn't getting migraines or anything like that, but I was getting headaches that made me feel really quite uncomfortable. And so I think that is something that I will feel if I'm going off track in terms of the process, in terms of the awakening process. That's what I will experience. And certainly this week I was preparing information for my recordings, but I just could not carry them out. So let me show you, because this channel, as you're aware, has been created on my experience and how I feel and what else happens to me. So this week I've done all this for my recordings. I've done absolutely loads, but when I've actually sat down, to actually to record, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So this morning when I woke up, I was feeling what is going on with me. And then I got the sensation that I should just be free-flowing, communicating with the universe, with God, with Source, the Creator, whoever you want to call it. And as I started to think that, I started to process in my mind other things that I needed to do. And my anxiety also started to lift. And I felt like I did. I was starting to feel like I did in my last recording. My last recording was called Chosen Ones, Attracting Future Frequencies, Energy. And during that recording, I absolutely felt elated. I felt beside myself. I felt so happy that I felt things were going so right. And what I said in that, and go back to that recording if you want to see it. And during that recording, I said that I was going to make another recording the next day as a follow-up recording, and the next day I couldn't do it because other things had started to come into my mind in terms of reflection, and I just wasn't in the position or in the mindset to sit and make another recording. So, and here I am today on the back of that recording, because I think from this point going forward, I feel a change. I feel a change in me that I can only express has been a part of the awakening process, a part of communicating with God, a part of communicating with Source, the universe, whoever you wanna associate to. So, and this is where I am today. The previous recordings that I was going to do, the titles are, this is what it is right now. And that's for me. And if I'm feeling this, other chosen ones must be, I'm not saying everybody, but other people must be feeling what I'm feeling. So this is what it is right now. Then I've got no pressure, I'm free, the universe is directing me. The next one I wrote was regarding the people, entities trying to prevent forward movement. And these are topics that I was going to talk about. My next one was, if your obedience is purely about finance, then I worry about your decisions made going forward from this point. And the reason I entitled that was because the information that I've been picking up from the internet was talking about people receiving their breakthroughs or their blessings and other things, gifts and that. And what my thought was around that point is that if people are only investing in the awakening process for what they can actually get, and it's not as easy as that, that people are talking about finances and that, or gifts or breakthroughs, that you're actually going to get it, because there is a process that you have to go through. If you do not meet the criteria, or if you don't meet the process energetically, you ain't getting nothing. Let's make that clear. So that was the next one. And then the last one I wrote was a few days ago. I was going to talk about chosen ones. Do you really need the internet? The answer is no. So that's where I am. I feel that I'm being directed to actually come away from my process that I've been working to, and to declare what my mission and my purpose is. So I've actually made some notes in terms of what I want to say, because I'm a bit like that really. But before I go on any further, what I want to do, because I think this is really quite important now from this point going forward, is to actually read my mission statement, which is what this channel is about. This channel is supported by God, based on my experience of witchcraft and the awakening process over time, past and present. The practice of witchcraft is real and affects many people's lives negatively within this timeline. I am calling these entities out into the open to express their actions towards the vulnerable, the innocent, and those unaware of their actions. These people, spirits of deception and envy, behaviour is of old. Support is offered to entities who rebuke the dark, wanting to return to the light. God continues his protection of the chosen ones and individuals of the light who visit this channel to express themselves and to receive support. My other statement would be, in terms of my integrity and authenticity, I declare what I am about to talk about is the truth, the whole truth, in terms of my experience, so help me God. So that is that. So here we go. I believe that I am transitioning from social media. And let me talk a little bit about social media. There is a lot on social media from the Almighty, other tarot readers, people who are experiencing their experience in terms of the awakening and giving their opinions in terms of what they feel is actually going on. But what is actually going on for me is that there is a lot of bogus information going around at the moment. And just imagine this. If I am saying, and I am saying, that there is information on social media from the Almighty, from Source, from the Creator, then surely there's got to be information on social media from people who are of low density. And what I'm talking about here is demonic entities. Now, I've had numerous conversations with people, particularly people who attend church, who aren't actually coming out and saying that there are demonic entities around directly, 11 o'clock. But what they're saying indirectly that there is. One person in particular says that they do not watch anything in terms of religion on social media for this reason, bogus information. And if there is bogus information, and I believe there is, then that information is there to either manipulate you, brainwash you, or steer you in the wrong direction, away from what your purpose is. Now, obviously, social media has its pros and cons. To use social media in order to pick up information about the awakening process, you have to use your discernment. And using your discernment, again, is a difficult process, because it is also elements of energetic energy. And if you don't understand energetic energy, then that's where the difficulties lie. You're going to be watching all sorts of stuff on the internet, and some of this stuff on the internet, particularly coming from demonic entities, are harmful, very much harmful. So people, you have to be careful about what you're watching on the internet in terms of the awakening process, in terms of what you believe is information coming from Source, from God, from the Creator. Seriously, because it is harmful. I've had my own experience in terms of that, and it's not nice. It's not nice. And also, if I can also say, is that people need to be careful what they're watching on the internet, because it is emotionally and mentally draining. Okay. So what I am saying is that I am starting to pull away from the internet and picking up my information from God, from Source, direct. And what the process is that I'm in at the moment, I am building up my experience. I am building up my ability to believe in my own experience in terms of my own information that I'm channeling from Source. And that is very much important. And if I can say that also, over the past few days, I have the ability to experience channeling in a way that I can evidence what I'm picking up via channeling in terms of the information that I'm picking up also from social media. Now, I am being directed to particular individuals on social media that I've been watching, and the information that I've picked up in terms of channeling, the people that I've been directed to on social media have actually said the same things that I've channeled. So I am, or I have the ability to channel. And this is what I'm going to be concentrating on going forward. So it's about building up my confidence, establishing my own reality, building my own reality in terms of what I am actually experiencing at this moment in time. And I think for me that is really quite important. I also, and this might sound strange, and for people who have experienced spiritual warfare will understand what I'm talking about. I'm not lessening people that have not experienced spiritual warfare. I actually think the majority of people that have experienced something, a journey in terms of the awakening, have experienced spiritual warfare, whether they recognize it or not. But this morning, I actually felt that I could feel certain people in my aura, in fact, not in my aura, outside of my aura. And these people that I was feeling, they were in fear because it wasn't me. They were in fear. And I could feel the fear from these people. But I could also pick up my own aura, my own feelings, and my feelings were really quite happy, really quite floaty. So they were separate from the individuals that I was actually feeling outside of my aura. I also felt that the people outside my aura did not want me to complete this recording. And as I thought about this recording, I started to feel a lot better. My anxiety started to go away, and I started to feel really quite happy within myself for the thought of making this recording. And actually, since I've started to make this recording, my anxiety is gone. My feeling has gone, and I'm feeling more again like I did 6 days ago with my last recording. That's got to tell me something. That is telling me that my feelings in terms of moving away from my old self, actually not associating with from where I'm actually coming from in terms of the manipulation, the witchcraft, is the way to go, because that for me has been an experience that I don't really want to experience again. But it's an experience I feel that I needed in order to move forward in terms of what my mission base is, which I shall come to. So it's about trust myself to communicate within the energy I am currently aligned with. And that's a good feeling. That is a good feeling. So it's about my confidence in terms of my ability to tap into the universe, to tap into source, to tap into God, to deliver information to the people it should be going to. And that's what a part of my mission is. So I am here to help people come out of their own, to come out of the dark and back into the light. I am no longer responding to fear or doubt, demons, low entity, because that's what it is. If you have experienced spiritual warfare, you will know that they are, I won't say convincing, because in my experience, as soon as you get the ability, the confidence to actually protect yourself in terms of the warfare that you're experiencing, you will find that these entities back down really quite quickly. So it's about having the confidence in yourself to actually to pick up what these entities are actually saying, because people, they are really quite damned. They don't really care. They don't care what they say. They don't care what the experience is that you're having. All they want is to throw you off your base, really, so you don't continue forward in terms of what your mission base is. And that, for them, is a tick. So if you are experiencing spiritual warfare, or have experienced spiritual warfare, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I am no longer responding to fear or doubt. Demonic low energy entities no longer affect me. Demonic attachments, it can be felt. So it can be felt in terms of what you're attached to. So demonic entities can actually attach to you, and you can actually feel them. You can actually feel it. An example. For me, a few days ago, I woke up and I felt really detached from my feeling, particularly in terms of God, the Almighty Source, the Creator. And I felt really quite off centre. But the more I tried to bring myself back to my normal feeling, it got really quite difficult. And as I persevered with that, I could feel myself starting to relax, and I could feel myself again coming back to my normal self, to the point where it was like I was still walking around, but I was also meditating at the same time, and I could feel the void in terms of who I was, in terms of what I was feeling, in terms of the entities that were trying to take me away from my purpose, trying to separate me from source. And as soon as I understood that, my feeling came back. The entity gave up. People, what is going on at this moment in time is, for some people, fearful. Absolutely fearful, because it is scary when you know that you are being attacked and it's in your mind, and what they will say to you is mind-blowing. And it's about lessening your confidence, it's lessening your ability. And the more that you invest in that, or believe what is being actually said to you, the more that you will succumb to the entity's wish. And if I can say at this moment in time, people, that entities now are becoming more sophisticated in their attacks, and what they tend to do now is mimic who you are. They study you, they find out what your weak points are, and they will interject into your mind. And in doing so, you then start to believe that what you are actually talking about in your mind, you start to believe. And once you start to believe that, they get more of a hold, become more manipulative. And the more they become manipulative, the harder it is then to rebuke what they're saying and get them out of your system. Some people, and I have to say this, some people will have access to this recording and think that what I'm saying is absolute rubbish. Well, that's up to you. That is up to you. Because what's actually going on now is going to become more widespread as time goes on. And if people are thinking what I'm talking about is rubbish, then that's up to you. And I feel sorry for you as time goes on, because it's not just about you. It's about your children. It's about your partner. It's about your parents. It's about your friends. We are really in serious trouble. And I'm not here to scare people, but we are in trouble. Right. I was talking earlier on about people who are trying to prevent your forward movement in terms of your mission. And I have to be really quite serious here, or really quite intent in what I'm saying to you, so you really do understand. There is, as I've said, a lot of information on social media about the awakening. There is a lot of information from tarot readers. There's just a lot of information. You can't get away from it. If you look for it, you can't get away from it. So the people, or low entity people, that I'm talking about, that will prevent chosen ones or individuals of the light from progressing forward, are people that is in your center, people that you allow into your center, people that you actually know quite well. These people are, or could be, your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, who have been given a mission to keep you back. The more you become involved within the awakening process, the more you will get to understand that. And on top of that, there is witchcraft. And on top of that, there is energetic energy. Energetic energy is something, people, that you have to invest in, you have to understand going forward. Without understanding energetic energy, the possibilities of manipulation of you is heightened, absolutely heightened. There's one thing that I don't really understand at the moment, and I'm going to be really quite honest. I don't understand how these demonic entities have a understanding of what is coming up in your life, but they do. And that is something that I'm going to be looking into in the very near future, is how these entities predict what's going on in your life, how they predict what finances that you get, or what finances are coming your way, but they do. How they can then manipulate you in terms of your finances going forward, and they can. The world is split, people. The world is split from chosen ones to individuals of the light to demonic entities. It's split at the moment. My understanding, there are more demonic people than there is chosen ones or individuals of the light. So we just have to be careful. So people attached to my aura, they attach to my aura for my energy, for my sexual energy, and whether just for manipulation, for whatever reason, these people attached to you are real. They are real. And the sooner you start to understand this, the better. Because these people are not kidding about. These low entity people are not kidding about. And along the line, in terms of my experience, I came to the understanding that there's no use really getting upset in terms of these low entity people, because they've actually got a task. And you know what? They will complete their task no matter what. It's just like my task is to complete my mission. It's like my task is to go to work on a daily basis. When I was working, that was my task. And it's a low density's task is try to manipulate you. But it's not just about manipulation, people. In some cases, they will really harm you. There are hundreds and thousands of people in mental health institutions that have been assaulted, attacked by low entities. These people that have been hospitalised for various reasons, and mostly there is a lot of people in there that are religion based mentally ill. I'm going to say that again. Religion based mentally ill. At some point, these people have been experiencing the awakening process, and at some point they've got stuck in the process by low entity people. This is my mission, is to reconnect with these people that have been stuck within the awakening process. And to believe, people, it is really quite easy. If you are within the awakening process and you are continuously attacked by low density people, the possibility is that you will get stuck. Because once you start to invest in what these low entity people are saying to you on a spiritual war basis, people have been stuck and are still stuck. Now, I'd like to make this statement as well, really, is that if you are, I don't know, driving your car, or you're standing in your kitchen washing up, or whatever you're doing, watching TV, and somebody comes into your mind, a friend, a girlfriend, and that person is in your mindset for more than 5 or 10 minutes, this person has the ability, the skill, energetically, to get into your mind. I'm going to say that again. If a person comes into your mind and that person is in your mind for more than 5 to 10 minutes, this person has the ability, energetically, to influence your mind. And they do. And they do. And they will continue to influence your mind, and they will continue to suck away on your energy. Now, I have had experience in a lot of things in terms of spiritual warfare and in terms of witchcraft. The witchcraft, not that I practice witchcraft, I don't need to. But the people who do practice witchcraft have and I have experienced quite a lot of spells. And if it wasn't for God, I would not be here. My experience in terms of witchcraft, in terms of the awakening process, spells have become really quite extensive. Now, in terms of witchcraft and spells being put on me, I used a verse from scripture, and it is I cannot. I'm gonna have to really concentrate and try and pronounce this right. It is Ephesians, the armor of God, and that is in Ephesians 6:10-18. Let me read that to you. Now, what I found in terms of this, it is effective. It is really effective in terms of preventing spiritual warfare. And bear with me, just gone past it. Right, here we are. Now I'm going to read this slow, and it works, and it protects you. It protects you from spiritual warfare. It protects you from people getting into your aura. And this is true. If it wasn't true, if it hadn't worked for me, I wouldn't be doing this. This is for you. Right. Finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on your full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the evil or the devil's schemes. For our struggles is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authority, against the power of the dark world, and against the spiritual force of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on your full armour of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take your helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the God's people. Pray also for me, that whenever I speak, words may be given to me, so that I will faithfully make known the mysteries of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearfully as I should. That is the armour of God. People, I hope I'm really making sense to you today, because this is getting really quite serious, and I'm not going anywhere, because I've experienced it. I know what's coming. I've felt what's coming. I've been told what's coming. I've experienced witchcraft. I've experienced spiritual warfare. My body, my mind has experienced this. What I have experienced, I cannot just forget. I have to go forward. I have to go forward with the knowledge that I've picked up over the last few years. And I'm not joking. This is no joke. I'm being serious. I am here to help people come back from the dark to the light. And I will do everything possible to make sure that these people are or come back and start to live a life again in the best way that they can. Another way to actually beat any entities in terms of, or overcome any entities in terms of spiritual warfare, is to meditate daily. And I've made this statement quite a few times. I'm not religious. I have found a friend in the Almighty, in the universe, in the Creator. My relationship with this person is real. I believe what I'm experiencing. I believe what my mind, my body is telling me. There's nobody that can convince me that I am having a mental health breakdown. Put it that way, because I'm not. I'm certainly not. And for the entities that actually try to manipulate me, your time is done, your time is over. Absolutely over and done with. And I know who you are. What I will do, if you are experiencing spiritual warfare, that you are feeling that you are stuck in the awakening process, or you feel that you are being manipulated by certain people, I am willing to help. I'm willing to part with my experience, but at the same time, I will introduce you to the Almighty, to Source, to the universe, whatever definition makes you feel better for you, because you are not able to beat what is going on if you are affected by entities without God, the universe, Father, the Creator. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. So get that into your mind. If you want support, if you want intervention, have to go through Source, God, Father, the Creator. Have to. Am I clear? I hope so. Right. I have on this channel 64 recordings based on my experience. You are quite welcome to access them and build your confidence up in terms of my ability to help you, along with the Source, along with God, along with Father, along with the Creator. This is what it is now. This is what it is. Also, a word of advice is to build your knowledge up in terms of energetic energy. Energetic energy is a part of your mind, your thoughts, that you tend to ignore. It's the thoughts that you have when you talk to yourself. Build your knowledge up on energetic energy. And also, before I go, I have talked about unconditional love quite a lot on my channel. I came across, and I'm trying to remember it, I came across a quote about love, and it says, humans do not know what love is. What we call love is attachment. Now, if you think about that, it's true. Nobody understands what love actually is. And I'm not saying I do, But I have taken the time out over the past 12 months, probably a bit longer, to show myself unconditional love. If I don't know about myself and my abilities or my capability in terms of love, what am I doing trying to associate with another human being on the premise of love when I don't understand what love is? And certainly the people that I've engaged with in the past don't know what love is. It is really, as I've said, it is attachment. We go out at night, we go to a nightclub, we have alcohol, we see that person across the room and we go and pick them up, or they pick us up, or whatever it is. You go home, you make love, and accidentally you create a baby, and from that point that tie is there. You don't really know anything about each other. Start off from this point going forward. Learn about yourself. Show yourself unconditional love. And this is not about going out and buying a pair of jeans. It's about actually getting to know yourself, what your capabilities are, what your understanding of love is. Who are you? Who are you to that person that you sleep next to at night? Besides the sex, do you really know that person? Show yourself love before you start to attach to another person under the premises of what you think love is. If you don't know yourself, then how are you going to show yourself to another person? Where's that commitment coming from if you don't know yourself? What we're living in today is bullshit. It's actually bullshit. You sit down and you scroll through the internet. That's a good indication what lives people are living these days. Bullshit. Bullshit life. It's time to change. It's time to show yourself love. And in showing yourself love, once you understand yourself, and this isn't going to take 5 or 10 minutes, 2 months, 3 months, it's about taking time for yourself. It's about becoming, what's the word I'm looking for? And it can't come. Make love to yourself. Absolutely make love to yourself. Don't go out there showing your C's to somebody else, because it's not fair. It's not fair. Love of self is integral in all aspects of the awakening and concerns involving witchcraft. Absolutely. Sex magic, people, is real. It's based on energetic energy. Right. I hope I've made myself understood today. If you have any questions, I'm willing to answer them, as it is at this moment in time. Take care. I'll be back with another recording very soon. Bye bye for now.